What's going on, guys? We are back. We're going to be talking, discussing about the PSA message that was put out last night. I saw it on Facebook, but it's also on Twitter and on their homepage um, about the PSA facts from the 41st National. Um, and so I just wanted to talk about the facts that they stated on here. Um, Again, this is not a bash PSA video or any of my updates. Um, I just want to make sure that people understand what this means. People understand the backlog that they have, and most importantly, understand that PSA may be in a deeper hole than what any one of us thinks, right? But before that, this is your first time viewing the channel, viewing a video on this channel. I always give everyone a warning up front. I don't have a budget for video content because there is no budget, because there is no money. So with that, this channel is very rustic. Everything's done on my phone. I don't have a lot of time to uh, edit and do all that crazy stuff like a lot of other creators do. So this is really just for my own entertainment, but I'm happy that everyone else is here for the ride, and hopefully we could all learn something from it. So um, go ahead and just move on to PSA. So from their 41st National Facts, bullet point number one, it said they graded over 10,000 collectibles on site. Right? They don't break down what that means. Um, it could be grading cards. It could be authenticating autographs. Slabbing packs, stuff like that. So we don't know exactly what that means. Also, PSA gave away $50,000 in free on-site grading to 100 lucky customers. Not sure what that means, to be honest with you, because if you divide 50,000, so 50,000 divided by $250, which was the minimum going rate at the national, is 200 cards. So maybe they had one winner, two cards, or something like that. I don't know. And PSA recruited more job seekers on site than any other company. Again, uh, not a big impact right now because we don't know what type of jobs they were hiring for. Uh, you know, if they're hiring for graders, great. But I hope that if they were hiring for graders, that um, there's some sort of training involved and a lot more to it. So their impact to the backlog may not be felt for hopefully a few weeks, if not months. But we don't know, right? Fourth bullet point was PSA's grading backlog is 100,000 fewer cards today than it was before the show started. Okay, whatever, right? So I really just want to focus on the first bullet point was the 10% collectibles on site. So that's the one I want to focus on here today. The other three, uh, they're nice to know, but just no immediate impact, right? So what I did here was, this is the calendar that I have for PSA. This is the last 6 weeks of grading from Sunday through Saturday, and on the very far right is the total for that week. So 173,000, 167,181, 180, right? And then the 2 weeks leading up to the national. So the week before the national, they graded 154,000, and then the week of the national, they graded 125,000. So again, if you're new to the channel and new to my updates, I only keep account of the cards: uh, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, and TCG. I don't keep track of coins, packs, wrestling, um, any of those. Not because I don't care about them, just because when I started my spreadsheet a few months ago, I didn't even think about it. I was just doing it for myself. Hindsight, I should have done it for all of them, but it is what it is now, right? So for these weeks here, what I did here on the next graph here was I got the average here. So the average of the last 4 weeks here was the 100 cent. So 6 weeks ago they graded 173, then 167, then 181 and 180. That's the average for the last 4 weeks before before the national was 175,751. The 2 weeks leading up to the national, right? The week before the national and the week of the national, they graded 154,000 and 125,000. So what I did was I got the difference of that compared to the average, which was 70,713. That was what potentially the impact that the national had with PSA. So what I did here was PSA at the national, 10,000 collectibles. And a assumption I did was deduct 5% for anything other than cards, right? This includes autographs, packs, coins, whatever, right? That leads us to about 9,500 cards. Then you multiply the 9,500 cards times 250 cards, which was the minimum price to grade per card, right? And that gives us the total projected revenue of all the graded cards was $2,375,000 for PSA at the national for cards. That's on the low end, guys. There are, I believe, my understanding was the highest graded cards were being charged about $1,000, and from what I've seen on Facebook, there was quite a few cards that were being charged more than $250. So this revenue projection, it's on the low end. That's the minimum, I think, is what they came out of the national with. So with that said, what I did was I got that number 2,375. I divided that by the 70,713 cards right here. That's your break even point, right? So now per card, if they were to stay home per card, they would need to have charged per card $33.59 per card to reach that amount, grading 70,000. Now, any way you look at this, it doesn't matter which way you look at this. If you think the cost per card, if they would have stayed home, was lower than that, say $20 a card, the revenue would have been 1.4 million. So they would have lost almost $1 million, and they would have also had to have graded almost 60,000 cards more than if they would have just went to the national, right? So lost $1 million and grade 60,000 more cards. So it was strictly a money grab. There's no way around it. They went there to make money, right? Again, they're a business. It was a business decision on their part. I totally understand from a business perspective, right? My issue with PSA at this point is that they are not putting the customer first in anything that they're doing. Um, they promised service last year, whether it be a 20-day service or uh, whatever service that you signed up for, right? First one that came to my mind was a 20-day service, and there are people that have been waiting for almost a year for their cards back from a 20-day service that they should have received back within a month, and it's been 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months for some people. So yeah, it's not right, it's not fair. While people are waiting for their cards, because when they submitted their cards, they were under the assumption, they were under the pretense that they were going to receive their cards back within a certain time frame, and they have not yet. PSA is going to the national for a money grab. That's all this was. It was a money grab. So, um, be mad at me. I know there's some people out there that will defend PSA to the end, and I totally get it. They are king of the hill. Their resale values are the greatest. Um, but outside of those two things, there's not much else that PSA can hang their hat on at this point. Um, I hope that they could get their act straight. And honestly, personally, I hope they get their act straight, because I hope all these smaller grading mom and pop places will not stand a chance once PSA gets their act straight. And the sooner we get that, then the sooner they could push those guys off towards the side. So, but that's it, guys. Appreciate everyone watching. Let me know what you guys think, and be safe out there.